started.
Keegan, 4 games in a row now. You guys are going through it a little bit. What do you make of just kind of where you guys are at right now and how you kind of get out of this?
I mean, I feel like, especially last game of the road trip, were tough ones. But we're giving ourselves a chance. There's things that we obviously have to be better at. First half defense, making free throws, and things like that. So there's a lot of small things that are turning into big things.
Yeah, Keegan, the free throw shooting has just become like an epidemic with you guys. What is it that you guys are seeing? Is it a mental thing? I know you guys are shooting more at practice, but I mean, 18 of 32, not good.
Yeah, I mean, we're shooting a lot of free throws in practice. Obviously, I feel like last year obviously was a lot better, but we just have to keep working on it. And at the end of the day, we're professionals. We've all shot good from the free throw line before, so just getting over that hump, I think we'll be fine.
Keegan, Mike's always said like he likes to see adversity within this team to kind of see what can happen afterwards. You guys went through adversity last year. You've gone through adversity earlier this season. What do you kind of hope to learn from these past 4 games and trying to end the homestand on a high note?
I mean, obviously adversity last year, the first 4 games. It's a new team, and I feel like this year we've had a lot more adversity with injuries and losses and things like that. So just sticking with it day by day. Not giving up on each other, sticking with it with each other, staying as a team, as a family, and we'll get through it.
In some of those moments where your guys' defense could have been better, what were you seeing, like perimeter containment or rotations, or what were you kind of seeing there?
I mean, yeah, I feel like TJ hurt us a lot, especially in the first quarter, I think, with his Nash drives and things like that. We try to stop that, and he hurt us a lot. So there's just a lot of different things. They're obviously the number 1 offensive team for a reason. We just have to be better defensively against them next time.
Just want to get your thoughts on Miles Turner and Benedict Matthew and what they were doing, as well as the kid who came off the bench, Jarris Walker.
Yeah, I mean, Walker came in and hit a lot of big shots, a lot of tough shots. So kudos to them, and obviously Ben's a really good player, in the same draft class as me, and he's a tough guy. Miles is obviously big, spaces the floor really well for them. So they have a lot of different dimensions on their team that hurt us tonight. They're starting to line up and off the bench.
Keegan, when you look at the way you guys played down the stretch, making it kind of interesting there, is there any positive you can carry from that? Like, I know Mike has made a big deal about when guys come in and maximizing their opportunities. I'm just wondering if you feel like that's a moment that you might be able to build off of.
Yeah, I mean, we know we shouldn't have been in that position in the first place, but just to see our effort continue, even when we're down late in the fourth, it's encouraging, but that's not the type of game that we want to be in all the time. So just take it as it is and just learn from it.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, Keegan.
Watching, and then we had to react to him when he back cut us, and now we're in scramble mode again. They got good looks, so our defense was non-existent until we started scrambling and fighting at the end. And they score 126 points on 55% from the field. That's not good. And then the final thing that I would say is obvious. It's obvious. It's our free throw shooting. This 2 games, and the only reason why I say 2 is I can't remember what we shot in Milwaukee, but from the free throw line. But it's 2 games in a row. We shoot 50% from the field. From the free throw line, and I'm not sure what it is. Today we shot more free throws in shoot around than we ever have in a shoot around since I've been here, and yesterday. We shot more free throws in a practice than we ever have since I've been here. We've upped the number, and we put even to a point to where if they don't get X amount in a row, there's a time limit. They just got to sit there and shoot 2 at a time and rotate. So hopefully sooner than later each man will figure that out amongst himself while we continue as a team to shoot a lot of free throws. But each man will look in the mirror and kind of lock in and try to figure out what he can do to be better at the free throw line, because having 2 games in the 50s, and the 2 games are basically, one possession games. Even though there were times you didn't play well in both those games, which is going to happen, it's tough to swallow.
Like you talked about how, you talked about how, seeing your team with adversity, see how they kind of respond, even as early as today, and maybe that was it there, but I'm just curious if some of the traits that you've seen throughout your time here with Sacramento, is this stretch of adversity, is there anything that you can point to that might be, I don't know, surprising, or just something that maybe is different from maybe previous adversities?
Well, I tell you, we've had good stretches defensively, which makes me feel like we're about to break out, because you're not going to always shoot the ball well. And it makes me feel like we got it. I mean, our execution defensively, again, was at a really high level versus Phoenix. I was disappointed in a lot of things with that game down the stretch, but man, I walked away from that saying, well, okay, if we can get this type of effort and focus and commitment on that end of the floor, we're going to give ourselves a chance, because we have been playing well offensively. And I always felt that whether our offense was here or it wasn't good, I always feel like that's going to come back. So, the defensive end of the floor, the inconsistencies, that has been, for me, pretty alarming. And the free throws, the free throws, not just tonight, not just in the last game, but the reality of it is all season, we're 30th in the NBA from the free throw line. And I feel like we have good shooters. I really do. And I'm just, it baffles me a little bit that we shoot the way we shoot from the field and from the 3, but then we shoot the way we shoot from the free throw line. So I think probably those 2 things, probably with the free throw, our free throw percentage being the most alarming, and then second is the inconsistencies that we're getting on the defense end of the floor. Because like I said, 55% and 126 points, that's not good.
Mike, when you look at Kevin tonight, career high 31 points, maybe that's the only bright spot you can see on this for the game tonight. Just how nice is it to kind of see him get back into rhythm and be the star that you guys thought he was at the beginning of the year?
No, it's great. Kev, like I said, that the game that we got beat pretty good by New Orleans, when we kept him in at the end and gave him extended minutes, to see him, like he had a pop to him or some bounce to him. And so to watch that, for me, I was like, okay, I think he's ready to go. And from that point, he's done this. And, which is exciting, it's exciting, and you're happy for him and for us. But, it's tough to enjoy that when you lose the game the way we lost it, because some guys had great numbers. Some guys played well offensively, but obviously a game of basketball, you got to figure out a way to get it done on both sides of the ball, and we didn't do a good job with it defensively tonight.
Mike, back to the topic of adversity. A lot has been made about leadership, what you're saying, what Fox is saying, Sabonis is saying, or whatever. But what does each individual player, going back to the time of the championship teams and high-quality teams that you've been on, what does each individual player have to do themselves to work through this adversity and these stretches of the season that are going to happen?
Well, first thing is, a loss like this, it should sting, and you should let it bother you. But having said that, because of the amount of games that you have to play through the course of the season, you got to figure out, okay, I let it sting for a few hours or whatever it is. Now I got to figure out how I can get better. What did I do wrong tonight? What have I been doing wrong overall? Not only that, what have we as a team been doing that's not good enough to help us win games right now? Or what can we do better as a team to help us win games right now? And so your outlook has to go from, okay, I'm taking the hit, I'm feeling it, now it's time to fight. And it's time to fight while getting better. It's time to fight in practice in terms of locking in, because we're not going to have any contact at this point in the year except for our low minute guys. And then it's definitely time to fight come game time. I know that we can be a better defensive team than what we are. So it has to start there, because at the end of the day, like I said, we're going to figure out a way to score. We just got to figure out a way to slow some of these teams down. You know, I mean, even Milwaukee, like I said, I thought offensively we were great, but it's hard when you're giving up the type of points that you're giving up, and the type of threes that we gave up to their hot guys. It's tough to try to just go toe to toe and outscore guys on a night in, night out basis.
When it comes to TJ and those like baseline Nash dribble
Yeah.
drives, what's the ideal defensive coverage there?
The first thing is you want to space him a little bit, and you want to live with his jumper. That's what we told him, is live with his jumper and contest late. We don't want to give up blow-bys. And in the first half, he just put his head down. We tried to press up on him. He drove right by us. And then we relaxed when he got, because he goes behind the basket. And so you think that, okay, well, he's not, you tend to think that he's not going to score. He's been playing this way his whole life. And so if you relax instead of continuing to try to body him along the baseline and not let him step back from underneath the basket to shoot a reverse layup, he's going to score it. He's used to doing that. So we got to do a better job of containing the dribble drive, first of all. And then second, once he does get along that baseline, you have to have a physical presence with your chest of trying to keep him pinned or dribbling along the baseline, and not just come back as soon as he crosses underneath the basket, if that makes sense.
Coach Brown, I don't think your bench had a dip since that Portland game, but yeah, 4 points in the first quarter. All of that was Malik, and the bench didn't produce anything else until the third quarter. I think Sasha got about 6 points. What's your analysis of, you had a total of 16 points coming from the bench. Just want to get your thoughts of your bench play tonight and not getting that many points from them.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of offensively, we didn't get a lot from our bench, but the reality of it is, again, we score 121 points. We shoot 52% from the field, basically 40% from the 3-point line in a 48-minute game, regulation game. That you think should be enough, especially when you get 32 free throws. Right? We score 121 points with 32 free throws. You think offensively, okay, off night for our bench, but we still, in my opinion, scored enough and had a chance to score enough from the free throw line. You shoot 58% from a free throw on 32 free throw attempts, so you missed 14. You missed 14 free throws. You could take Malik's out the last one because he had to miss that to try to tip it out for the read. So you missed 14, 13 free throws. That's big. And then on top of that, you give up 55% from the field and 126 points. So I'm a little concerned that our bench didn't score, but at the end of the day, I'm more concerned that our bench and our starters didn't perform at the level that we needed to defensively to try to get to be able to get a win against a team like tonight.
Mike, you talk about what you need to see in terms of like fight and leadership and how you guys can get out of this, but what are you actually seeing? Like in reality, what are you seeing from these guys right now? Specifically, maybe when you look at Fox and Domas other guys you look to for that leadership. What are you seeing, and how does that compare to what you actually need over the second half of the season?
On that, can you just help me out one more time?
So you talked about we have to show the fight. You need certain things in terms of your leadership. You need, the team to respond a certain way to adversity, as you like to talk about. But right now, maybe they're not responding the way you want, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Like, where are the shortcomings right now in terms of what you're seeing?
So the shortcomings is specifically, and it's different in each game. Milwaukee, we didn't do a good job guarding a three, especially with their hot players. All right, and their hot players hit a high percentage of their three. In the Phoenix game, we turned the ball over, and the turnovers led to easy baskets in transition, and then in transition, we didn't do a good job at all finding bodies. Our transition defense was terrible, even when we didn't turn the ball over. In the fourth quarter, the last, 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, our transition defense wasn't good. Tonight, and again, both those games, we played well offensively till the last 6 minutes when we started turning the ball over against Phoenix. We played well offensively, I thought, the whole game against Milwaukee. And then tonight, the things that we did well in the other two games, come across and trapping the box, or helping our teammates on drives, losing vision of our man so a guy can cut, and now we got to overreact to the cut because he's behind us. So that cuts, our low man wasn't there, and then low buys on the dribble. All that stuff didn't happen the last two games. And so kind of different things each of the games, and and that's why I said earlier that I'm a little surprised of the inconsistencies that we're getting from game to game to game, because we've shown we can do it. We've shown we can do it on multiple occasions. And then, we go out and we have and we slip in this area. And then the next game, okay, we clean that up, but now we slip in this area. And like I said, but with the exception of us turning the ball over down the stretch in Phoenix, our offense has been good. Somebody sent me something too, and I think our offensive rating is around the same of what it was last year, or close, something similar to that, I think they said. But the difference is the whole league-wide offenses really picked up. So we're doing about the same thing last year, roughly, on the offense end of the floor. And we have the last 5 or so games, if not more. Again, what I'm disappointed in is the inconsistencies of the different parts of our defense that we're bringing to the table night in, night out, with the exception of the Phoenix game.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.